Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome here at Crypto Hash Review, where we educate and disseminate information about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies from a Muslim perspective. And we are here to addressing one of your questions that you've asked us. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. I've recently been looking into buying gold and silver. May Allah make your gold vault full and silver vault. During my research, I learned that Islamically you can only buy gold and silver in hand-to-hand transactions. Yes. So there's two types of riba. There's what's called riba al-fadl and riba al-nasi'ah. So riba al-nasi'ah basically means when you give a loan and you get back more. So I lend you £10 and then you give me back £20, effectively like that. If I give you 1 bar of gold as a loan, you give him back 12 bars of gold next week, like that. That's the riba and nasi'ah. That's what's called riba and nasi'ah. And nasi'ah basically means delay, and riba itself actually means increase. So you get an increased delay. That's what it means. Riba al-fadl is effectively it's basically there are certain types of commodities and assets and that kind of stuff that when you transact, you must have finality, so as not to open the doors to ziyada, increase, I guess you could say. So there are things which are sold in volumetric sale, and the things which are sold in weight, as in mass-based sale. So if you sell things like that, like dates, for example, if I bought a cup worth of dates, I put dates in the cup and I fill the cup and I exchanged for you for dates as well. So you give me dates and I give you dates. It must be like for like, a cup for a cup. That's as an example. And you must settle immediately. But if I was to sell you dates for gold, then you can have different weights. I mean, I can sell differently. Sorry, but my mistake. If I sold you dates, which is sold in weight, in volume, for rice, which is also sold in volume, then you can vary in the amounts, but you still must settle. So if it's a weight for weight thing or volume for volume thing, but they're different types, then you still must settle immediately and then finish the deal now. But you can do different amounts. So you can have a kilogram, 2 cups of rice for 1 cup of dates. You could do that. That's fine. But if they are both different types and different methods, like volume plus weight or weight exchange for volume, then you could do what you like. Now, gold and silver are both sold in volume. In weight. So I'll put it on the scales and it's kilograms. So if for whatever reason I'm gonna sell you kilogram for gold for kilogram for gold, then that's what it should be. Same amount of weight and settle immediately. If I give you 1 kilogram for gold for 2 kilograms of gold, then you can't do that as silver. But if I'm doing different types, still weight, but different types, like gold for silver, then I can do as much as I like. I can do 1 kilogram of silver for 1 kilogram of gold. Now, anyone who knows about the price of silver and the price of gold, the price of silver and gold not the same. So a kilogram of silver for a kilogram of gold is not a good deal. It's not a good deal at all. But I could do that. Whatever, it's business. I can agree to that, and I'm happy with that. Because I don't have to be the same weight, but it still has to be finalized immediately. So yeah, if you are buying gold, which I'm guessing you're using fiat, using some kind of money, then you have to settle immediately, hand to hand. And when I say hand to hand, remember I said in a previous video that in the past, the issue of ownership, when is ownership transferred? Qabda, through possession, taking possession. So when it says hand to hand, it must be possession. So don't think of it necessarily as physically hand to hand, but as in possession. When is it actually yours, ownership wise? This is obviously not very easy, especially now with the high demand for physical. Yes, it's not very easy, which is why gold is a poor means to store your value. I mean, it's good in terms of it. Once it's in there, it's not going to go anywhere for a while. But gold is very poor and actually using it. So if I want to use gold as a medium exchange for international trade, it's ridiculously useless. I mean, why would you even use gold? It's dumb. It will cost you more money to actually, your profit margin will probably be eaten up by the cost of actually transacting in gold. So yeah, there's a lot of costs involved in having gold. And that's why I advocate for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has all the properties of gold and the benefits of being on the internet, on the network. easily transferable. One of the ways of buying gold and silver that I came across is called bullion allocation with companies such as Bullion Vault, which is basically another problem of gold. Because someone has to hold it, it has to be somewhere physically. Therefore, you're now exposed to third party risk or counterparty risk. Someone now has to hold it, and you have to trust them. Gold isn't a trustless system unless you hold it physically. So again, another case for Bitcoin. Bitcoin allows you to receive Bitcoin immediately in your wallet, and no one can take it from you, and it's yours. You can have it. And it's transportable easily. You can go on any phone, any wallet, or any piece of. You can just memorize the seed phrase, and it's in your head. You have Bitcoin in your head. You can actually contain millions and billions of dollars of value in your head. So that's the use case for Bitcoin right there. So those who say Bitcoin is useless, my question essentially is of this way of buying gold and silver is halal, and is it accordance with the principle of hand-to-hand transaction? So yeah, if I transfer money over to this platform, for example, and I said press buy and it's bought, effectively what they're doing in the back end, because they got your gold and they have your money, but the money they have is yours, it's not theirs. They are legally obliged to hold it for you and not take it from you. If you said they got my money, then they have to give it back to you because it's not theirs, but they do have it physically in their hand. But the gold is theirs in their hands. So you can't take it from them legally because it's theirs. When you press buy, nothing happens physically. I mean, the paper is still there and the gold is still there. However, the ownership has been transferred. So that's perfectly fine. What isn't fine is if you, for example, press buy and they haven't got the money yet. Therefore, there's a delay, as in you're going to pay it later on and whatnot. So you say you got the gold, but they're going to pay later on through whatever reason. That's obviously part of the delay. But if they have both the gold and the money and then you press buy, then it's basically happened behind the scenes now. And that's perfectly fine. So yeah, hopefully let's answer your question, and hopefully you've learned something more about the use case for Bitcoin. Bitcoin allows you to do what essentially you want to do in gold and silver, preserve your money in an asset that is hard, as in not inflated away easily or at all. But then again, on top of that, you get the added benefit of Bitcoin being transportable and usable. I can actually, if I have £1 billion in Bitcoin in my head or my wallet, I can actually spend £1 of it immediately. It doesn't cost me anything more than it will cost me to spend all of it. So that's the use case of Bitcoin. And hopefully you guys have benefited from this video and these questions and answers, I guess you could say. And may Allah give you plenty of Bitcoin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.